Hello, Benji. Or sorry, Bendrea.
Gracias. Spanish? Like from Spain. Gracias should be like gracias. Gracias. Gracias.
Whatever.
Gracias. Gracias.
I like the lisp.
I like to do the lisp too, but it's incorrect. It's not pertinent. Speaking of impertinent, welcome to Tuesday, Thursday, April, August. I am your host, Andrea Rimalower, here with my lovely co-host, Daniel Nolen.
Live from New York, it's Tuesday morning.
Tuesday, Thursday, April, August.
Time heals everything. It's a song. Time heals everything.
I want to take this moment. I'd like to take this opportunity to say, that's Patty, right? Patty Lupone Live. Since this is my first time performing in concert in Los Angeles, I'd like to take this opportunity to say hello. I'd also like to take this opportunity to say goodbye. I'm leaving Los Angeles after 4 years to be a part of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Sunset Boulevard in London and New York. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's so tragic that that's on the album. Anyway, hello, Jehan? Jehan?
Hey.
Thank you for joining us this morning. What was I going to say? All right. Oh yeah. I'd like to take this opportunity to say, inappropriately, I want to call out friend of the pod, Doug Middlebrook, who does those wonderful lip sync videos on IGTV, where he does Barbra Streisand, Faye Dunaway, everybody. And he texted me last week. What are Patty's angriest interviews?
Oh, you said receipts.
Literally. But of course, I dropped everything and spent 2 hours sending him a bunch of clips. Then being how soon do you need this? Because of course I'm thinking I have to find stuff, and I have it on VHS.
Yeah,
no rush, which is not useful. If you ever want anything from me, you got to put a date on it. But
hockey tapes.
If you want it, then you gotta put a date on it. That's my Patty Lupone sings Beyoncé. Anyway, I bring it up because now it's been a week and he hasn't done anything, and I'm just bursting with anticipation. You're supposed to
froze the stream.
You can't do that kind of comedy in the streaming era. Anyway, anticipation to see what he's going to use from it.
Yeah, he's writing a show about Patty.
Patty is she's more in interviews. She goes bitter.
Yeah.
She doesn't really do angry in interviews. Really, the only angry clips of Patty with anger, but not in a character, are about Trump. Now, I have seen the business end of angry Patty on a couple of occasions, but they were not in interviews.
What was one time you saw the business end of Patty angry?
God, well, I only feel comfortable sharing the one that was directed at moi. Which was when we were doing I like to say it as Leslie Kritzer's Patty Lupone Lemouche.
Yes.
And with full support from the secondary titular lady, Mademoiselle Lupone.
Oh.
And then what happened was we kept getting extended, and I kept telling Patty and inviting her, and she hadn't been able to make it, so she said. But she was very supportive, and I would send her the reviews, and we got a rave in the time. And he was like, "Oh, it sounds like a blast, honey. Just so sweet, sweet, sweet." And then Kurt Deutsch loved the show and recorded it for Ghostlight Records. Recorded our show, Leslie Kritzer, and it was the one thing that I didn't talk to Patty about, because Kurt and Ghostlight produced her that time last album, Lady with the Torch, and the follow-up EP, The Lady with the Torch, Still Burning. Or as I call it, the Patty Lupone Christmas album, because that's where she sings Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Yeah. But That's neither here nor there. But that's another story. Never mind. Anyway, so
recording, Ghostlight.
yeah, so I hadn't said anything to Patty because, like, who am I? I'm like, you know, some gay that used to be Lonnie Price's assistant. Like, it's like her record producer, you know. And then one morning, and then it was announced like on Playbill or whatever, you know. And one morning I wake up to a voicemail, you know, after years, I'm literally during Patty issues. After years of her calling me, being, "Hi, honey, it's Patty." Like, "Hi, doll, it's me." Honey, you know, honey. You know, all these little messages, pillow talk, basically. I wake up, you know, "Ben, this is Patty Lupone. You've really upset me, Ben. Something's gone awry with this act. You'll be hearing from my lawyer."
Ooh.
And then at least put me out of my misery. The next message was from her lawyer, you know.
Yeah.
And anyway, and then, you know, she not only did she not want us to do the album, she didn't want us to do the show anymore. She was kind enough. Leslie was going to do the out-of-town tryout of Legally Blonde in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And then I was doing this workshop. I was directing this workshop of this musical called The Geeks, not to be confused with Nerds. I was doing this workshop of this musical called The Geeks in San Francisco, and a workshop of Marissa Kamen's play, The Fabulous Life of a Size Zero, that we did at the DR2 later that spring in Berkeley. Anyway, I was going to be in the Bay Area too, and we had a gig for Leslie to do the show at the Plush Room in San Francisco, and Patty let us do that. But we had an offer to do the whole summer at Joe's Pub, the whole shebang. It all had to be ixnayed. But the happy ending was then with Kurt, I produced the recording from the original bootleg soundboard tapes of Patty's Les Mouches.
Which was such a gift, and it's on Spotify, so you can find it.
Yeah, heaven is indeed a disco.
Speaking of Ms. Lupone, should we go straight into Who Do You Think You Are?
Yes, I didn't know if you were going to say that or I'll be Patty, because in fact,
either they both are derived from Patty.
Yes.
Who do you think you are?
Oops, sorry, Dal, I cut you off.
It's okay. We gotta move. Our Who Do You Think You Are today is of this week's guest on our Broken Record podcast. Maybe we should always do a tie-in. It's the inspiration for my name, Andrea Rimalower, the brilliant Andrea Burns. And we just love her so much. And
Love her.
I've loved her forever on stage and on recordings and stuff. But having her as the guest, she was just such just like a good egg. And she was just so great to talk to. And then as we tell the story on the podcast, after we recorded her and like hung up not the phone, but the session, we had like a crazy technical difficulty and had to like get her back in and like had to like painstakingly like spend like more time than we'd spent talking to her in the first place. We had to like
her MP3 file from the interview.
Like troubleshooting with her, and she was so patient and generous and sweet and warm, and we're just literally like we're so in love with her. Yeah. So anyway, so just in my deep obsession of Andrea, I found this clip of her on Seth Rudetsky's video series Obsessed, where she tells about her audition for famed musical director Paul Giammagnani for the original production of Jerome Robbins' Broadway. And I just want to also give a plug that on Seth Rudetsky's twice a day streaming show Stars in the House to benefit the Actors Fund, and also now not the NAACP, but there's a bunch of like Black and Black Lives Matter, affiliated causes that it benefits. Anyway, she now is the permanent Monday night host, Andrea Mondays. And I've watched a bunch of the episodes, and she's just the best. Anyway, but this is her a few years ago telling Seth about her audition. Well, no, this is her performing what the special material medley that she was doing for her auditions back in the day. And she was, by the way, not the star that she is today. Nobody knew her, and she had the cojones to audition like this.
Here we go.
He's short on the height, he's short on the weight.
Yes.
But he's the only guy that makes my coffee percolate. Dapper Dan, he's my cornet lady.
Brava.
Brava is right. Oh my God. I was so into the comedy of it, but as soon as she goes into Cornet Man, I literally forgot that we were doing the live stream, and I was just like,
Oh, so good. I want her to like be Fanny Bryce.
totally. She must have played that at some point.
She'd be so good.
I also just want to say how much I love Seth Rudetsky, because did you see the thing between them when she was like, silver plated wall on you? Well, how did she start that section?
A powder blue Norfolk suit.
Silver plate, wherever it was that she did a little riff, and it was the three-note riff. What do you call a three-note riff? Not a tritone? Is that the word?
Triplet?
A triplet? Whatever that's called.
Not a triplet, but I don't know.
Yeah, whatever that thing is, he loves that, and we all love that. It's fabulous when people do it, and you know that they must have rehearsed it, and he must have been like, "Wait, you didn't do the three notes, this whatever it's called," and he made her do it, and and I love that, because I don't have the vocab to get what I want out of people the way that Seth does, and so
you make do with what you have. I said, but you make do with what you have.
I make do with what I have. Not always. I remember when Seth and I worked together when I was directing Snoopy, and Sutton Foster was I'm name dropping today, was what do you call it? Lucy. And she sang this song that I love so much, Hurry Up Face. Do you know the score to Snoopy?
Kind of. I mean, I did one. I was in this class one time, and we did a performance of Edgar Allan Poe. Is that from Snoopy?
Yes, love. Yeah. I love that song so much.
I was Linus.
That song was my Waterloo in the concert, though. But, anyway, but I mean, the concert was fabulous, but the cast hated me. But I think where Sutton really turned on me was in that Hurry Up Face. Because the very end, it's like, hurry up face. And it was like, she wanted to go, hurry up face. And I really wanted that face.
Face.
Like Pamela Myers or Lorna Luft. I forget which one of them is the one on the album, but whoever did it was fabulous. And Seth got it for me, but I couldn't get it. And I think I soured the pudding with Sutton on it.
Sutton didn't want to do it?
Well, it was like, Ben, stop.
Oh.
God.
I know.
I hate directing. Why do actors have to be people? Can't they just be computers that you program what you like?
Well, I mean, I was going to try to make a joke, but I
no jokes. Well, anyway, speaking of all these things, maybe we should move on to my all beef patty, because it's a long one.
Okay, good. Here we go.
I hardly know the woman.
I would think that's going to be longer.
I know, me too.
I need it to be like, I hardly know the woman. It needs like a sting or something so I can finish my like gulp.
Yeah.
Well, this is not really an all beef patty. It's more like a half beef patty, or like a 1/3 beef, 1/3 pork, 1/3 veal patty, if you will.
Oh,
The patty meatloaf. Because, as I mentioned last week, a friend of mine on Instagram, this gentleman named Nell, had sent me this, the 20 hardest female roles in musical theater.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube video. And so,
what were some of them?
I took note of the whole list, and I'm just going to run through it really fast. And then I'll tell you about my beef is the ones that were left off, in addition to a couple that I didn't think belonged on it. Mm-hmm. Number 20 was Angelica Schuyler from Hamilton. I'll give it to him. Number 19 was Veronica Sawyer and Heathers. I can't really comment. What's it from? Is it from Murder by Death? No. Is it from A Little Night Music? I'm deeply skeptical. But to me, Heathers, it's such a cherished 90s, like almost goth movie. You know, like Winona Ryder and Christian Slater, those people are like cool. To have some like no tea, no shade, but like off-Broadway, like mixy chicks, like,
Yeah.
and the clip they showed did not endear me, but I'm sure that the, not millennials, what do you call those kids, the really youngins, the Gen Z crowd will appreciate it. Number 18, Tracy Turnblad. And I just have to give a quick thing to say that they showed a clip of Nikki Blonsky, who, by the way, Happy Pride came out of the closet from the film version, right? Yay, Nikki, welcome to the LGBTQI comunidad. And they showed a clip of whatever that girl's name is that did it in Hairspray Live.
Yeah.
And Grandma here was getting real cranky when it like started with Nikki and then went to what's her face.
And it wasn't Marissa.
Then they showed Marissa, and I was just like, that's coffee.
Yeah.
And I just, Marissa, when you watch Marissa in Hairspray, you see the John Waters.
Yeah.
Like some of these other girls, and I love Nikki Blonsky, and I'm not shading. I mean, I just love Hairspray so much, and Hairspray works even if you take the teeth out a little. To me, it's just such a great show. It can be for anybody, however they want it, anytime. But like Marissa gives you that John Waters, which the original cast really all had. I mean, like even just the fact that you have people like Shoshana Bean and like John Hill and like Adam Fleming in the ensemble, like those kids, like they were a little bit bad, they might have been playing the nicest kids in town, but they had teeth. Anyway, this is not the fast version. Number 17, Glinda. I was like, wow, okay, whatever. Number 16, Mrs. Lovett. I was just upset. Number 15, Velma Kelly. I was like, whoa.
Maybe dance-wise.
Yeah. Number 14, Norma Desmond. I was like, I don't think so. And to make matters worse, do you know that the clips they showed of Norma Desmond were she who shall not be named? Number 13, although I did appreciate that they were like, and just like with any, by the way, somebody who knows musical theater, although I disagree with some of their choices, obviously wrote this video, but the girl that did it clearly didn't know things. She called Trina and falsettos Trina, but it was just funny but she had a very good like YouTube like tutorial kind of voice. But I did enjoy that during the Sunset Boulevard thing where she was like, and just like with any Angela Weber role, Norma's songs are quite vocally taxing, just as they cut to like full volume Glenn being like, so I did. It was like, I kind of forgave all for that. Anyway, number 13, Kim and Miss Saigon. Yes, thank you indeed.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 12, Grisabella. I was like, okay, so is it like the challenge? I mean, I thought it was a little bit, it had to be like the size of the role too, but.
I mean, Grisabella really just has the one song, which you do have to have a voice for that, but like.
And just as I was getting all cranky grandma on this, because they were showing a lot of Ms. Page. Well, first they showed under the description without sound a clip of what's her name that sucked on Broadway, Leona Lewis.
Yeah, Leona Lewis.
Who, by the way, is so gorgeous. But like she looks like like a young Elizabeth Berkley. Anyway, they showed Leona Lewis, but without sound, just as under the description. Then for the first sound clip, they cut to Elaine from like the video that you grew up on, and I was like, because a lot of them, they would only show two people.
Yeah.
Then for like the final, and they were like, and the assignment indeed is to stop the show. Cut to grainy Tony Awards video. Betty Buckley full touch me. I was like, and I just thought, it bears repeating. Betty Buckley. That's all.
Betty Buckley. Hashtag Betty Buckley.
Hashtag Betty Buckley. Number 11 was Christine in Phantom, which I was like, okay, fine. Number 10 was Caroline Thibodeau in Carolina Changed. Thank you. Yes. Number 9, Effie in Dreamgirls, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Number 8, Elle Woods. I was like, that's not my contribution, but like I'm willing to grant the but I think that part must be more technically difficult than I realized, because I think we've talked about this on the pod before, that reality show, The Search for Elle Woods, all of those girls, whenever they would talk about, and Seth on the show, and Jerry Mitchell and everybody, whenever they would talk, Bernie Telsey, whenever they would talk about Laura Bell Bundy, they would describe her. I mean, I joked about it in the past that it was kind of the way in that Broadway The Golden Age they talk about Lorette Taylor.
Yeah.
But which is true and was a good joke by me. Thank you. But also they talk about it like the way we would talk about like somebody that won the Olympics because they did like a quadruple flip that no one's ever, like, it was clearly like she had just like a sheer objective technical skill. So, and the clips that they showed on this YouTube thing were very like, I was like, wow, this is kind of almost like playing Sweet Charity or something. Like, she truly has to like act, dance, sing, be funny, belt high, like the whole bing, 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 bing. Yeah. And then I started being like, when are they going to get to Charity on this list? Next one, Fanny Brice. Yes, of course.
Obviously, no one can barely play it. I mean,
by the way, most of what they showed was that bitch from London, whatever her name is, that got all the press.
Sheridan.
Who? Yeah, Sheridan. Then they showed a weird, without sound, just clip of Shoshana Bean. I was like, but then you didn't get to hear it. And then they just like, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, Barbara Streisand, and it literally was just her on the boat going, Pa-ray! Nothing else. Then Reno Sweeney, and it started with Sutton.
Okay.
Cut to Patty, and they gave her sort of like the meat. And then they cut back to Sutton for the end, where like, I'd heard people say that she sang it in lower keys than Patty, and watching this, you could tell back to back it was for sure lower key.
Really?
Remember, the lower key is the least of my complaints, but I realized that's my number one beef with Sutton. If you could go back in history and have Sutton never do Anything Goes, or like do it and flop and be shamefully laughed out of the Broadway season.
Whoa. I mean,
I would love Sutton with all my heart.
That's so interesting because most people who I talk to are like, that's a good role for Sutton. That's what Sutton should be doing, is stuff like Anything Goes.
Okay. I'm not even going to talk about this more because this has to be an all beef Patty.
Save it. And also, we need to fast track these last hour mini.
Yeah. So, Reno Sweeney. Number 5, Alphabet Natch. Number 4, Diana in Next to Normal, Totes. Number 3, Celie in The Color Purple.
Yeah.
Number 2 and number 1 are obvious. Anybody could get.
Let me guess. Well, one of them's Mama Rose.
Yes.
And the other one is I can't guess on the spot. Give me a hint.
The other greatest challenge for an actress in the musical theater.
I'm blanking.
Two roles that a great talent could win a Tony for.
Oh my God, I am so blanking right now.
You know you're the greatest star that ever lived if you win a Tony for Rose and this one other part.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Wait.
I'm crying for you right now.
Evita?
Thank you. Jesus.
You know I'm not an Evita queen, but I actually thank you.
Thank you, Isidro Rodriguez. I appreciate the proper use of the accent mark in my name. Anyway, so the ones that I was most offended that they left out were Charity and Sweet Charity, Eliza Doolittle, Cunegonde and Candide, because that is like crazy opera singing. Even legitimate coloratura opera singers are challenged by that.
Yeah.
Like pulling teeth. Oh my God, Robbie Rozelle is watching. We are honored to have
Robbie. Check out Robbie's new album.
Yes. Oh my God. Songs from Inside My Locker. And is that show streaming, Robbie? Because that show was so fabulous. I want to watch that from the comfort of my own home. And Edie Beale in Grey Gardens. That was the other thing that I was like, that is fucking hard part. How did they leave it off? I had a bunch of shit on my draft list that they didn't do, but like I couldn't complain so much. Like, I don't know. I thought like Emma in Song and Dance. I mean, she's got the whole hour of straight Andrew Lloyd Webber, but maybe that's more of a challenge for the audience. I'm just kidding. I would kill to see it. Robbie's show's not streaming. Not yet. Not until the people, let's have a petition. Okay, so we have Robbie. We've got Isidro, our good friend Larry Lawrence, Karen Stein, my girlfriend, a lot of good people watching today. So we need them to give us very fast the hardest, most challenging Dolly concert kills they can think of.
Here we go.
I don't like when you pull out in the middle.
Oh, baby. Okay, here we go. Highlight.
I'm taking this one.
Give us submissions. 3 performers.
Okay, we've got one here from You're Gonna Love Tomorrow.
Wonderful choices. Okay.
I would like to say to you, You're Gonna Love Tomorrow, our favorite Portuguese viewer.
Yeah.
Muito obrigado. Okay, Tanya Pinkins, Lilius White, LaShans. Who do I want to see as Dolly Levi? That is easy, Lilius White. And then in concert, I mean, I kind of want to say LaShawn because I've never seen her in concert, and I have seen Tanya, and obviously LaShawn is like one of the most spectacular and gorgeous voices, you know, in Broadway history. But nonetheless, I mean, I'm dying to see Tanya Pinkins in concert again, and I feel like she only gets fiercer and just more. The older and stronger and smarter and better and wiser. Just the gifts of Tanya to give the audience are just, you know, like a fine wine. I just have to keep coming back. So
to get a sip. All right, next, Doris Day, Julie Andrews, Rosemary Clooney. I mean, I want Julia's Dolly, Rosemary in concert, and unfortunately kill Doris.
Ooh, this is a really fun one for me. Terrence Stein gives us Elaine Stritch, Elaine Page, and Karen Maxwell. Well, can I say my most offensive? No, I can't. Just kidding. Okay, so I definitely want to see Jan Maxwell as Dolly because I love Jan Maxwell and she'd be so hilarious and warm and wonderful. And I mean, coming back from the dead, can you imagine how people would freak out when she came down that staircase? You'd have to call 911. And as I've said many times, Elaine Stritch in concert, I don't care if she just cops a squat and has diarrhea for an hour, I will throw the roses. And I get to do it for Patty. I will kill Elaine Page, and it will be long and painful. And as she's just about to just flit out of consciousness, I will say, that's for Anything Goes on the West End.
I love how for most people we're like Dolly concert kill or hiatus or chill, whatever kill means to you. And then with Elaine Page, you just really commit.
I want to taste that blood.
Okay, Lindsay, Hillary, Miley. Ooh, I mean, this is a good one. I mean, I kind of want Miley as Dolly, and then Lindsay in concert, kill Hillary. I was always Team Lindsay in that feud.
Okay, I want to take Susan Powell, Dolly Perry.
Okay, hold on. This is, of course, my friend Jess. This is like the economics Dolly. Janet Yellen, Angela Merkel, and Christine Lagarde. I don't even know who Christine is, so I'm gonna have to kill her. I want to see Janet Yellen, Queen as Dolly, and Angela Merkel in concert. Can you imagine how that kind of concert would be? Interesting. Okay.
You know, when I picture Merkel, I don't picture the real one. I picture that woman that played her or version of her on Veep.
Maybe her show could be that. Like it could be the two of them.
Yes. Okay. So, Taryn, I love you too. Oh my God. I need to take Robbie's. You do this one.
Okay. Susan Powell, Jessica Voss, Valerie. I don't know who Valerie
Perry is, and I've been waiting my life to say this, replacement Ava.
Susan Powell as Dolly, Jessica Voss in concert because that voice, kill Valerie.
Okay, Ruthie Henshall, Jennifer Holliday, Barbara Cook. I would like to see as Dolly. God, this is so hard.
Really hard. This is a good one, Rob.
I mean, I want to say, I have to say Barbara Cook is Dolly because I never got to see her in a musical and she'd be fabulous. You know, the same way that Laura Benanti and She Loves Me had all that sort of like musical comedy energy in the beginning. Yeah. You just know that Barbara Cook did that. And so to imagine Barbara Cook like scheming to manipulate Ephraim and just like, I mean, I say this with love, but eating that chicken, that turkey, you know.
Say it.
I'm sorry to do this to Jennifer Holliday, but you know I cannot quit Ruthie Henshall. Anything Ruthie's, you know, throwing down, I'm picking up.
Hello. She'll throw that baton and you'll grab it. Oh, wait, that's okay. Thank you, Jess. Okay, Jennifer Hudson, another Jen Holliday. I want to see Nell Carter as Dolly, The House Down. Ooh. Jennifer Hudson in concert. Sorry, we're killing Jennifer Holliday twice in one episode.
In fairness, when you play the same role in that many different productions, it's the Carol Channing curse. Didn't you write a play about this? Then you have to die.
Wait, what? Oh, the curse, yeah.
Yeah, the curse. The curse. Oh, Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson, Beyonce. Okay. Well, that's easy. I want to see. I don't know. I definitely want to see Whitney in concert because I never did, and it's the greatest regret of my life. Besides never going to Liza Minnelli's apartment. But I was about to say Beyonce as Dolly because Beyonce can do everything. But I'm like, but can she do comedy? And I feel like Janet Jackson is funny.
And it's funnier. Yeah, I agree with that.
I think Beyonce sings maybe better than Janet, but I feel like Janet sings more than great enough for Dolly.
She can do those songs for sure.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I would like to hear Janet wrap her velvety tones around some of those Streisand Merman ballads,
Yes.
I smooth jazz, love is only love.
Oh, Isidro disagrees with us.
No, I think he's saying Beyonce can't do comedy.
Oh. All right. Well, we are running over, so that was wonderful. A lot of good submissions.
Yes, thank you guys. We did it together. Together, wherever we go.
Tuesday, Thursday, April, August.
Time heals everything. It's a song. And time heals everything.